Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming down to our game 3, our last and final game for today. There is going to be conclude the end of our round robin group stages, and tomorrow we are actually going to be having our playoffs. We're actually going to be having some of the invited teams. We're going to have 4 invited teams, and then at the same 3 invited teams. We're going to be having 3 invited teams, and the top groups, the top teams of each individual groups. We have Group A, B, C, and D. Will be moving on to play in this tournament. We'll be playing in the playoffs, and for second place they'll be competing for the wildcards. So don't be afraid if your favorite team is out of the tournament. They can still stand a chance in second place. Whereas for now, for game 3, we actually have Valkyries versus Valor eSports. Now what's so interesting about this match is that both of these teams is actually 2-0 at the moment. Valkyries is actually from the Philippines, and we also have Valor playing once again representing Indonesia. So as you can see, Valkyries actually take a bit of penalty to their reserve time, as one of their members unfortunately was slightly late for the match, and therefore they actually had to take a little bit of a reserve time penalty. So moving into the draft, we're actually starting to see Sven first ban. Okay, I really like the bans on Valkyries. They're actually starting to see some of the common trends coming up, such as Sven, Sand and even the Warlock. I really like the Warlock ban instantly picking into the Grimstroke. We've seen it countless of times how the Warlock's actually able to stop the Soulbind combo. So yeah, great response. And for Valor, they actually decided to go in for the Oracle, a safe and aggressive support. And by far one of the most scariest support in my opinion. You're able to save lives constantly. You're able to dish out immense amount of magic damage. You're fairly strong in the lane, and you're able to completely turn fights around with your ultimate throughout the mid and late game phase. Now Gracelyn is going to be the captain of Valor, and she has officially decided to draft in the teeny tiny holding the giant tree. I was gonna say a rock holding a tree. Honestly, I can't really. I don't know. It always feels like Tiny is always made of clay. I don't know. Everybody says Tiny is made of rock, but I always felt that he was made of clay. But never mind. It's just me. It's just my opinions. Just ignore it. Yeah. So for Tiny, are we finally going to be seeing that Aghanim's build that we've been seeing all over YouTube? It's been a common trend amongst so many pub players. Will we finally be seeing this Aghanim's build in our final game of Valor versus Valkyries? And yes, Bad Rider, okay, I really like this Bad Rider pick. It goes so well with Grimstroke. With the Inkswell, buffs up the movement speed, stacks on top of Firefly. You can just run everywhere, causing mayhem. But of course, what's most overpowered is most likely the double lasso, connecting together with the Soulbind. I'm concerned for Valkyries at this point of time because they still haven't really banned out Lifestealer or Juggernaut. I mean, it's great. I mean, the thing about lasso is that it still pierces spell immunity, but then when it comes down to the laning stage, Barrier won't exactly be as aggressive as it would be against that Jug and Lifestealer pick. But then again, Bad Rider can be played as a position 4. It can be played in the mid lane. But you're picking Bat into the Oracle. That's a concern for sure. Oracle is able to purge off all of those napalm stacks, and every time you get those lassos initiations, yeah, Oracle is able to purge it right off. I wonder how Valkyries will actually decide to play around this. Banning away the Weaver and the banning away Weaver. What would Weaver usually lead up to?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, with the mana burn, you scale fast with agility.
5 seconds remaining.
What wouldn't you want to play a Weaver into an Alchemist? Maybe. I still see a chance for an Alchemist. Alchemist is still fairly strong, but not in the safe lane. Maybe Alchemist in the mid lane is still a thing. It scales fast. So far, it seems quite well, just by judging by the bans. I don't see why Alchemist might not be a bad pick here. Aside from those obvious mid lane counters, like maybe even a I think it's still too early to say. It's only still the first phase of the draft.
10 seconds remaining.
But overall, I think Valor Valor in the first game, we've actually casted the game for game 1, and they've actually played it flawlessly. So I would really like to see how they actually execute this and hopefully maintain their standards all the way to the final game.
Dire team pick.
Queen of Pain being banned out. Okay, now this is where I think maybe heroes like Templar Assassin may come in handy, but then I don't really think you want to pick TA into Bad Rider because of how fast the refraction just burns off. Quap, banning away Quap, taking away the Weaver. Shadow Fiend?
10 seconds remaining.
Will they go for the SF game again?
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, did they play a... Leah did play a pretty mean Shadow Fiend in the first game, so I don't really see why not. You're banning away the Queen of Pain, an obvious counter to Shadow Fiend. Just moving on to the second phase of the draft. They may want to copy... I think at this point of time, Valor still has a stronger draft compared to Valkyries. And here we go, picking the Mars, finally! Finally, I was actually talking about the Mars pick in the first game, and now we're actually having the Mars pick here. But one thing to watch out for is that you're picking Mars into Bad Rider. Bad Rider is an obvious counter to Mars. You're able to firefly through the walls, the arena, and at the same time Mars isn't exactly immune, doesn't have high magic resistance against the Firefly or the Napalm. You don't exactly have the highest turning rate either. Considering that you really want to throw that Javelin, yeah, Napalm is gonna really be quite a nuisance for you. Valkyries going up for the Wind Ranger pick. Now, Wind has actually been a really popular pick so far. It's been played in the safe lane, we've been seeing Wind in the mid, sometimes even in the off lane. So Wind is one of those picks that can just go anywhere. And at this point of time, I think both drafts are still rather flexible. Valkyrie's draft is still flexible, but yeah, you're picking picks, you're picking counter picks into counter picks. You pick Bat into Oracle, you pick Mars into the Bat. It's a little bit confusing, but we'll see how it goes. I still see a choice for maybe a Monkey King. Maybe Monkey King and Shadow Fiend. I mean, we've seen the Monkey King Mars combo before. It's really scary. Pangolier. Okay. Okay, as you can see, Pangolier is still hiding behind the Master Shield. Oh, we're going to see him for a while. This Mars lifts up the shield and reveals Pangolier right next to him. And here comes the shield spinning, blocking off the Pangolier. Pango hiding behind the shield.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, jokes aside, we are starting to see a little bit of team synergy coming out from Valor. You've got the control, you've got Mars, Lifestealer. Okay. Lifestealer, good response towards the Mars pick. Rage goes through the arena. Not to mention Lifestealer overall now the Lifesteal actually takes off Lifesteal off your overall max HP. So yeah, overall great against Pangolier and Mars. But then again, Pangolier's lucky shot does go through PKB, so yeah, Lifestealer has to watch out a little bit for that. Still, Pangolier mid. Alright, it's gonna be Pangolier mid, Mars off. Tiny support and tiny fall. It's gonna be around there. Well, in terms of mid lane, I think at this point in time, both teams still can look for a mid lane pick. Valor, they do have the last pick, so coming in with the counter plays, there are still a couple heroes left in the pool. I really think Death Prophet might be pretty good on the side of Valor. Oh, Valkyries actually going for the Wraith King pick. So we're gonna be seeing maybe bad mid. Could be a bad mid. Here we go, Juggernaut. So Juggernaut's gonna be playing the safe lane for sure. Could be Pangolier support. Could. No, Olia. Olia's playing Juggernaut now. So now Olia actually played the Shadow Fiend in the previous game. Wow, she has some really nice sets though. First the Arcana on Shadow Fiend, and now the Arcana of the Golden Sword on Juggernaut. Impressive. Alright. Oh man. Okay, so in terms of favorite draft, I have to go with Valor for now. I don't know, it just seems that their draft just seems much more stable in terms of the team fight. You have something nice to rely on, such as Juggernaut. Juggernaut beats... Yeah, I think Juggernaut will beat Lifestealer late game. But then Wraith King. Wraith King is going to be an issue that Valor has to deal with. You don't exactly... I mean, you got Pangolier to clear it. Okay, God's Ruby to clear it. Okay. But then again, Wraith King is just going to be this huge nuisance. It's going to be one big chunk of meat in the middle of the playfield. It's going to be hard to deal with. I think around... Even judging by the hero picks, you have slows, you have stuns. It's going to be quite hard to kite around the Wraith King. Previous game 11-5 Weaver, and they decided to ban it out. So without further ado, we will be starting our third game, our last and final game. We have Valor versus Valkyrie. Valkyrie will be playing in the Radiant and Valor on the Dire. So going for the player introduction, we have Misk playing the Wraith King, Talty playing the Grimstroke, and all the way down the mid lane we actually have the Wind Ranger played by Zelia, and in the safe lane we have a support Bat Rider with Lagers, or is it Aegers? I think it's Lagers. Yeah, Lifesteal is going to be played by Lagers. In the safe lane, and moving all the way down to the off lane of the Dire, we have Gracelyn playing the Tiny, ALZ on the Mars, mid lane Pangolier played by Xaviera, and then interestingly enough, Aulia, instead of playing the Shadow Fiend, she'll be playing the safe lane Juggernaut this time. And last but not least, we do not want to forget our lovely support, the Sacrificial Position 5, Octa Nitro C playing the Oracle. So yeah, in terms of draft execution, I think that Valor might be... Valkyrie will be easier to execute, whereas Valor, they're kind of hard to deal with, to be honest. They have all three of their cores are fairly hard to kill, and not to mention you have an Oracle. Yeah, I think even though that Valkyrie's draft looks so much easier to execute, I think in terms of draft power, Valor just seems to have an overall advantage. That Oracle pick, even though it's first, is gonna come in handy. It's really gonna come in handy. Even against when Wind Ranger just focus fire, he's able to use Fate's Edict to disarm her. Not to mention of the False Promise. ALZU playing the Spear, playing the Big Mars. Now I'm actually expecting quite a lot of plays from this Red God, the son of Zeus. Even though this hero is taking quite a lot of nerfs recently, I still see him as fairly strong. But you're playing Mars into both Lifestealer and Bat Rider now. That's going to be an issue for them to face. Now Xaviera. Now this is going to be a tricky one. I'm not so sure if she's actually going to be playing the Maelstrom build. I think first things first, most likely she might rush for the bottle and then afterwards go for the Javelin. Maybe Javelin, if not it's going to be that Diffusal. I think Diffusal might be a good choice as well. Since you're playing into heroes like Lifestealer, Wraith King, maybe even Bat Rider, these are heroes that are really mana dependent. Just getting some G confirmations, but the game is still paused. Bottom lane is going to be really tough though. Playing Bat Rider into the Mars. I think Valor, it's not going to be the easiest game of their life.
I will someday repay. Absolutely perfect.
30 seconds to go.
Indeed, let's play some DOTA. So, honestly, I'm going to be quite curious to see how ALZ will play around this. They're playing against two counter picks in their bottom lane, picking Mars into both Bat Rider and Lifestealer. It makes sense that you're laning with an Oracle, but then again, will you be able to fully maximize your hero's potential in this case? Things are going to be rather passive.
Battle begins.
Both teams, I think they know that this is gonna be serious. The winner of this game will guarantee himself a free spot into the playoffs for tomorrow and Sunday. Here's where all of their seriousness will be focused on. Nobody wants to lose. Everybody's gonna play this game extremely carefully. Oh, Leah actually going for the safe lane block. Okay, safe lane block. 2019. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. I mean if you want to get that first creep going. But overall, check it out. Gracelyn just hiding in the trees, possibly going in for something. I mean, both of these teams have been extremely strong. Likewise, both of these teams, both Valkyrie and Valor, are now sitting 2-0, 2 wins and 0 losses. So this is where both of them really have to put in their best, and hopefully the lag just doesn't get in the way. A little bit of tilt coming in from the players as the lag is real. Bottom lane is going to be really tough. This bad rider pick pumping more points than Napalm. It's going to be so annoying for Mars and Oracle, but it's definitely going to give Lifestealer the opportunity to scale faster. Early point and maybe getting an early Midas, securing herself some good early and mid game rotations. Smooth transitions, sorry, from the early to the mid games. Likewise for the mid lane, I think that this matchup between Pangolier and Windranger, I would favor against Pangolier. Nah, okay, I'm gonna go for Wind. I think things are still fairly even. Let me think. Cause even though you get your win run, you're not exactly expecting to be getting hit by physical. Is it physical? Yeah, it's physical. Okay, wait. So okay, I think Win might have an advantage here. As for Pangolier, still deciding. Yeah, I think it's gonna go for the classic Javelin because of the pierce. It pierces through evasion as well, so it's great against the Windrunner. But then again, the Diffuser Blade does sound pretty legit as well. So some G's are being caught out and the game shall be resumed. And once again, another pause will be coming up. I think that they are just trying to get some confirmations from Valor. Valor wants to get some confirmation from Valkyrie to make sure that there's no unfairness in this final game. Tactical pause as Valor does get Spears of Mars into the trees. Sicilian getting fairly low, throwing in more of those napalm stacks. 3 stacks onto ALZ already, but does she have to follow up damage? One more hit will do the trick, and Lagos will take the first blood as Mars will fall. Sicilian will slowly fly her way back all the way to the base, saving that TP, saving the usage of the courier. While the early start to her first blood, Mars will die one time at the bottom lane. The disarm stacks onto the Windrunner. Careful as she may be. Toti don't exactly want to trade hits with a tiny. I mean, Gracelyn, she does have a toss available. If Toti doesn't get too careful, she can easily get slingshotted all the way back to base. Oh, the slingshot is real. The stun ray fire blast will connect onto the tiny. But Toti should be able to get out of there without any things to lose. A little bit of I think it's slightly unfortunate that the creep wave was too fast. It's a nice toss though. Mid lane, Windrunner does have the advantage over the Pangolier at this point of time. Xavier will be able to slowly snag up those last hits, trying to get as much experience as she can, overtake this Windrunner. Yeah, I think Wind will have the advantage in this case. Power Shot is just so powerful against
Absolutely perfect.
Pangolier.
You're too kind.
Like, come on, think about it. You're in at 640 HP. It's not like you're gonna be building braces, right? Braces sounds like a pretty good response though to Wind Ranger, mitigating the Power Shot's damage. Bottom lane. Actually, Mars is still faring pretty well, surprisingly, against this lineup. ALZ just trying to snag as much EXP as she can, but the wave will be pushing against the Radiant. So this is where she has to be slightly careful. Going in for the EXP may be able to cost her life, and just as I said that, the Spear of Mars will be rooted into the trees. Yes, slowly but slowly, step by step, Sicilian would just stack up those napalms.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Top lane overall, things are still fairly even. Wraith King into Juggernaut. Wraith King, I think this is a time where I think she might be maxing Mortal Strike. Because when you play against Juggernaut, I think Wraith King should be able to easily trade hits. Like, this crit percentage is much more than the Blade Dance. So it's 180, this is almost twice the amount of damage, a 300% crit. Yeah, mid lane Pangolin just slowly catching up. Yeah, I think this is the point in top lane where even though Juggernaut's does have a level advantage over Wraith King, it really does go down to the fact whether they're able to trade hits or not. Oh, the Great Fire Blast does connect onto Juggernaut, but the crit doesn't appear. Oh, the Stroke of Fate will be able to take out Juggernaut, but it won't be enough to bring her down. Unfortunate that Mortal Strike didn't connect. And yep, maxing the crit is the way to go. Aaliyah having the Farrier solve anytime soon. It's going to be the 5-minute runes coming up. Tiny waits patiently by it. Graceling gets one. It's going to be a 2. Yeah, 2 for 2. Radiant snatches 2, and so does the die. Graceling actually walking in for the backgrounds. Misk taking a huge chunk of damage from the tree. The toss will only be able to throw the zombie away. Not exactly a zombie, it's more of a Wraith King skeleton. Throwing the skelly far back behind.
Absolutely perfect.
Oh, Liam actually, she might actually go for the drum spill this game. Oh, Shook of Fate connecting onto Aaliyah. Can't afford to lose too many last hits right here. 13 to 4, not exactly the best start of her life. Mid lane, both Wind Ranger and Pangolin will hit the level 6. Being extremely cautious not to actually eat that power shot.
Absolutely perfect.
ALZ and Octa Nitro will ditch the offlane for a short fraction of a time just to heal up. It's Life Stealer. Wait. Actually, I'm quite surprised that Life Stealer isn't really dominating in last hits. I'm gonna watch. Oh, does she get a deny? No. ALZ doesn't get a deny, and Lakers will be to get the cut. She doesn't get the deny. Mars gets the deny. Okay, this is quite entertaining. Last hits. Monkai S. Mira on the mid lane. Xaviera doesn't have any mana to follow up. She does have the Mango though. Mazelia is fairly strong. Fortress and will be able to win runner in place. Xaviera. Oh, here comes the roll. No, she's not. As rotations are there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Barada has to be slightly careful here and don't have any mana to work with. But top lane, Wraith King falling extremely low with the spin. Gracelyn, is there any disables available? No, there is not. Oh, bottom lane, ALZ gets the Spear of Mars onto Lagers, onto the tree, Fortune's End. Will be able to root the Lifestealer in place. That's not going to do anything at all.
Absolutely perfect.
I am in your debt.
Surprising though, his Mars pick is actually faring pretty well. Top lane. Wrecking does get spinned down by the Juggernaut. Short and simple combo. Tiny just stuns into toss and you just spin. Is it getting a third stack? No, it's not. Likewise at the bottom lane though, Live Student has the top of, is leading the net worth. She's not doing exactly the best in the world for the last hits. Like it's 8 minutes in, you got phase boots, but no Midas in sight. Still a long way to go. Probably getting it around maybe the 12 to 13 minute mark. I think I'm guessing it to be around 12 minutes for the Midas. Really understanding that there's going to be a lot of trade damage from the Life Stealer. LC actually went for the casual chainmail to build into the phase boost eventually. Look at Gracelyn, she's just stacking up all of the cams for a wonderful cause. It's going to be 3 stacks there for Juggernaut. Something for her to rely on later. Octa Nitro. Will we stay in the trees? At this point of time, they have to be slightly careful. They don't really want to initiate onto Misk when she has a reincarnation up. Misk trying to snag off as much EXP as she can to get her second life. But this is all about Venom though. Slightly slow paced game so far. There's a lot of teams still moving, slowly breaking away from the laning stage. Misk does get scouted out. She does not have a reincarnation at the moment. The spin is out. Gracelyn throwing out the avalanche. The leech will be there to silence up the time to prevent any more follow-ups. Salty will be being swelled up. Juggernaut has to be cautious. She has the Omni Slash, but without the vision, she has to be really cautious. Salty will be tossed up behind, and Olia will be able to spin down the Grimstroke. That's going to be an easy kill for them. But at the same time, Dire will lose the Mars at the bottom, contesting for the bounty rune.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Sicilian actually already going in for the Tranquil Boots. Faring herself just enough mana, Mango with the clarity, so she can sustain in those ganks. So like I said, it's still a slightly passive game. Mid lane seems to be dead even. Pangolier having a slight advantage over the Wind Ranger, but has barely a wave advantage. Top lane, we're going to see 3 heroes being rotated up. Olia does get silenced up. She will back away knowing that there's no support by her back. I think this is the part where Juggernaut really has to be slightly careful. She doesn't really want to get caught out, especially once Bad Rider hits her level 6 or when Wind Ranger starts to go in with those rotations. See, Zelia slowly starting to move away from the mid lane, farming both the mid lane camps and the side camps. But I think there's a part of time where I think the laning stage will slowly break away, and when the gangs start coming in, that's where we're going to see some action.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Elegas does get the Midas up. This is the part where she'll slowly start to scale slightly faster than usual. While she's farming bottom, the rest of the team will be banging at the tier 1s. Loving the push from the Wraith King.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Even not exactly the richest guy right now, Wraith King is still doing his work, taking down tier 1s. 12 minutes into the game. Quick pause up. It's probably a connection issue again. But overall, I still have my bad stat. Valor might take this win. I don't know, it just feels a Vector. Valor at this point of time, they seem to have a stronger laning stage. Maybe, just possibly. Nah, okay, they didn't exactly have the strongest laning stage, my bad. But then, I think when it comes to the mid game, late game, they will start to come online. Once this Mars starts to stack up in terms of health and sustain, and when Juggernaut starts to get those agility points, same with the Pangolier, the damage output is just insane. One thing I really like about this Pangolier pick is more or less the lucky shot, and you're drafting in mid lane, such that you're actually able to scale faster levels compared to the enemy cores. During phase of time, this lucky shot doing that disarm, yeah, I think it's going to be great against heroes like Wraith King, Wind Ranger, Life Stealer. But one thing to worry about is whether or not if this hero can actually sustain within the fights. And G's the call. Oh yeah, well found the big creep, and this scouting it out will slowly back away, trying to avoid some conflict. Not want to take it all. Zelia actually going in for the passive Maelstrom faster than the Pangolier.
Double damage.
I mean, Pango did go for the arcane boost though. Yeah, I think things are still slightly even for both teams. Still early in, it's 3-2, 12 minutes into the game. Not much aggressions on the tower just yet, apart from the Wraith King push. Oh, Valor trying to go in for the striker shot with the DT up. Focus fire will be onto the Pangolier, and Pangolier just melts instantly with the double damage. Barrel's just there for the XP.
Is under attack.
Absolutely perfect.
Dire's structures
Great
are
understanding of
fortified.
damage. Zelia just runs all the way in, knowing that there's no way that Pangolier could escape her. Bottom lane, the pings are coming out as Legos does try and trade hits with ALZ. Open wounds will be there to slow in place. Legos will be going in for the Radiance. So it's going to be a 4-2 so far, seemingly in favor of Valkyrie. Taking note that both Valkyrie is from Philippines and Valor is actually from the Indonesia. So these two, like I've mentioned before, these two regions are actually by far the most aggressive regions in Southeast Asia. So it's quite rare to actually see them both play this passive so far. Legas being shot up, going in for the Mars, but Mars will be to throw out the Arena of Blood, and Tao T just sits outside waiting for the arena to end. Tiny coming with the backlines. But Wind Ranger, Zelia does get the Shackle Shot onto the Oracle. He will be able to one up. Here comes the latch. Zelia just runs to the tree trying to find his Oracle. There won't be any follow-up at this point in time. ALZ will be able to scout out. Octo Neutral will be able to escape from the fire by the Firefly, running through the trees, and Wind Ranger will fall. Oracle does have the magic immunity, but the Inkswell is onto the Batrider, and Batrider will be able to run down this Oracle with Fire Blast onto the Tiny. The Lasso will be able to drag off the Mars, fending the rest of the team, ensuring that ALZ won't be able to stop them. Same time, Juggernaut actually managed to snag a kill onto the Grimstroke. The spin is there. ALZ will be able to push one aside as Misk. Maybe a little bit of a misplay there. The crit is there. The trade is going to be a reincarnation, but this time Zevira is there. Here comes the roly-poly. Everybody's going to get knocked into the corner. Pangolier, beep beep. He's going to hit anyone. He's going to hit the Batrider fall. Grayson still in the back lines, trying to get some sort of stun going. Power shot, it's not going to do anything as Zevira stands in the same line as Tiny, mitigating the damage. So 5-6, 2,000 gold swinging in favor for Valor. I think the dive just went a little bit too much for Zelia, so his team just kind of left it behind. Queuing in for that early BKB. I think going for that BKB really allows her to sustain a little bit better, especially against all the lockdown from Tiny, the Arena of Blood from Mars.
Precious bounty.
Tardy and the Phantom's Embrace, latching onto the creeps.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
Are we going to be seeing two Midases though? Nah, I think Wraith King is going to be playing back to save a game. Zevira picks the double damage. It does stack with the swashbuckle, so she has to be slightly careful. Don't really want to misplay this game, this next fight. This double damage can be huge. There isn't any reincarnation at this point of time. So if Valor is really looking for it, I'm pretty sure they can go for the kill. Mars, on the other hand, LZ is scouting out the players from the sidelines. Zelia slowly just trying to farm those items of hers. Not going for the Agonist, but going for the BKB. Playing things slightly safer. Aaliyah going in her, already going in for the mana cell. Likewise, 17 minutes into the game. This just might be our most careful game that we're actually streaming. You can actually see both of these teams showing tons of respect to each other, not getting too complacent, not getting too aggressive, understanding the limits of their heroes. This is gonna be the final game. So like I said, the winner of this round will guarantee himself a free spot in the playoffs. Step closer to the prize pool. So you can only understand why they're playing, being so cautious for this final game. No response at tier 1 as the pings are coming out. I think at this point of time they just want to really get their items. Both sides, Valkyrie, she just wants to get the BKB up. And as for Valor, there are still items coming up, but there is the double damage. They're sitting comfortably in the side of the jungle. They do scout out Lagers, but it looks like they're actually going in onto the Bad Rider instead. The Avalanche is out, the root is there, and this Bad Rider just completely evaporates. Aulia chasing down Mist. Blade Fury is there, chasing him down. With the drums, there's no way you can outrun this Juggernaut, sir. Yeah, the Arena of Blood is available at the moment, but she does get Shackle Shot to the trees. Unfortunately, she gets silenced up, unable to cast out that Arena of Blood. Yes, she does, but where is the follow-up? The rest of the Radiant will be stuck in the Arena of Blood. Zevira with the pops the double damage, but unable to follow up, loses the Mars in the battle. Likewise, losing away the double damage. Valor, they have to keep their cool again. They just might make the same mistake once more, and just like the first game that they've actually played, they can't really afford to lose any more of these mistakes, as it may eventually lead to a huge snowball. 14 will be able to save his life, but here comes the latch connecting into 2. He's not going to do anything at all though. Pangolier getting himself in a really nice juicy spot, rolling and stunning the entire world. Brave King is disarmed and this is going to force them all the way back. Windrunner tries to windrun away with the evasion, but Aulia will be able to finish it off with the Omni Slash. Killing spree for the Juggernaut. The stun, the root onto the Brave King. The reincarnation is now on cooldown. It's going to be 4 death for Valkyrie. Well played from the Indonesian stars. Pangolier slowly and eventually getting in the diffuser blade. Actually, Pangolier went in for the swashbuckle range. Interesting pick. Interesting choice, in fact. Most of the players, they usually like to go for the 3 mana regen, because it just gives so much more sustain. I feel that the 300 swashbuckle slash range is quite long, but would you really want it though? Rather more sustain, but giving that additional points in range means more targets as well, means more procs for the Maelstrom. For Mars, he is getting that blink dagger, much needed. In fact, doesn't exactly want to get caught out in the same situation as he did previously. Graceland taking up her own stacks, I guess. 6-11, 4K net worth lead so far for Valor. Everybody just taking things slow and steady. Pangolier, she's actually going for the Linked Sphere. But would you rather go for the Linked Sphere or more of a Lotus Orb in this game though? I guess the Linkers will definitely help against Grimstroke. Soulbind is just such an incredible spell at this point of time. It's just... I think we're starting to see Grimstroke in almost every single game. It's just ridiculous. It's great in the lane because of the Inkswell. The amount of pressure she's able to dish out with the Stroke of Fate, and the amount of plays you can make with just Phantom Embrace and Soulbind. So some pings are already being drawn out. No vision on the Radiant. They can't really see where the Dire are. Most they can do is guess. Likewise goes for Valor. They don't exactly have any vision on Valkyrie's side as well. Oh, aggressive TP in from Zelia. Shackle shot onto the Juggernaut, but here comes the Arena of the Blood. Zelia will be released the BKB just in time as she slowly tries to back away. Olia does have the Omni Slash available, but I don't think she will want to commit at this point of time. Zelia, the latch will connect onto both the Tiny and the Mars, but there won't be any follow-ups at all. The Soulbind has been great, but where's the follow-up? There's no double Lasso, there's no double Ray Fire Blast.
Bottom tower has fallen.
And at this point of time, Sicilian is still farming in the top jungle.
Dire's middle tower
The rest
is
of
under
Valor will
attack.
actually begin their push all the way to the tier 3, sitting very comfortable, even though without the Arena of the Blood. The Shackle of Shots will connect onto 2, is huge. Flies to the wall ridge and jumps straight into the middle of the fight, but the Fortress End will just come in just in time as ALZ tries to hold off at Lagers. The jump in from Zevera will not be enough to save her life, as she will die. Omni Slash will be committed, and double kill for the Juggernaut as she chases all the way for Tauti. Wraith King will be able to reincarnate in the backlines. That's not going to do anything. Juggernaut will spin TP out to safety, and Windrunner will continue her chase onto the Oracle. But the Fate's Edict just saves her life just in time. ALZ throws out the Arena of the Blood and TPs out right into safety. Zelia, unlucky. But Oracle with that Fate's Edict. Fate's Edict with those Fortune Ends, not to mention with the False Promise, is just being so strong. How long does this even last? 8 seconds? Well, it's definitely long enough for Pangolier to do his things. But unfortunately, there just wasn't any heals available, and yeah. Definitely not so soon until she gets a Guiding Grease. Maybe that might start to make a difference. Bad Rider going in for the urn, eventually queuing up for the Blink Dagger, but hopefully there will be some follow up with the Soulbind. Top lane, Mist will find herself a stun onto the Juggernaut. Olia will spin TP out, or spin and roll right out. Tiny coming into Avalanche, but would there be any targets for her to toss into? No, there will not. Shackle Shot will not latch at all, and this should probably be an easy tier 1 for Valor as they just start to pressure the tier 1s. There's nothing that Valkyrie can do at this point in time to really stop this. The 25-minute runes are up. Mars casually making her way down the mid lane. Triggering out the spears of Mars.
Dire's middle
Sicilian
tower is under attack.
will TP out. No one really scouts her out, and yeah, it's gonna be 4 bounty runes. Will it be 4? Gracelyn? That's got all Lagers.
Dire's bottom tower is under
But
attack.
just walk right back out. Lagers, 25 minutes, already has the Radiance, has the Midas. More or less, rather the same as the Juggernaut. So far, the game seems to be favoring Valor tremendously. I mean, it still did even slowly, but the Zam comes up from Zevera, stun. She will be able to reach TP out, but the crit is real. It's nothing to do to burst it down. The pings on ALZ. The pings though. Come on. I mean, God's Rebuke, it does pierce through. Does it? It is physical. Yeah, but I don't think it was enough to kill the Juggernaut, to be honest. Whoa, Wraith King actually rushing in for that Assault Curious. That's interesting. Okay. Extra armor reduction. Hopefully maybe pairing it better with the Windrunner and the Life Stealer. But if you're playing an off-lane tank, wouldn't you really want to build like something like a dagger to help you initiate? Because right now the issue is like there just isn't any follow-up with the Grimstroke. The Soulbind was nice, but there just isn't the follow-up, and that's going to be an issue that Valkyrie definitely needs to solve up before the next fight. Lakers still looking fairly strong. Slowly queuing up for the Mana Star. Dire, they are looking for the Roshan at this point of time. Doesn't seem like Raiden really knows where they are. They don't have any vision at all. But likewise, I mean for Valor, they do have a rough idea of where it is. The scan is out, but maybe coming in a little bit too late. We really want to fight into a Pangolier. We really want to fight in the Roshan pit when there's a Pangolier. Not to mention that there's an Arena of Blood as well. Juggernaut will be taking up the Aegis, without a doubt. 27 minutes in. Barrada finally having that Blink Dagger. Hopefully these initiations will be slightly more smoother, if I may say. Because at this point of time, everything is just a little bit too messy. But Brave keep going for that Valkyries though. It gives armor reduction to the towers. It's good. It's a really strong team fight item, especially for heavy right clickers. But still, I still feel that the overall issue is that one, you're not able to tank at all into the front lines. You're not able to do anything in Wraith King. You don't have the damage at this point of time. You don't have the initiation. You don't really have the tankiness as well. Maybe even considering for the Aghanims next time might have been a better choice. Just this Assault Curious is just throwing me off a little bit. I don't really see a need for it, particularly. For win, she is getting that. The team is Edge and Javelin, so yeah, it's probably going to be a MKB. But Valor is slowly starting to bulk up. Crimson Guard is available onto the Mars. And Smoker Deceit. Gracelyn will scout things out, but she does have a dagger. Valkyrie has to be slightly careful here. No one really wants to get jumped on first by the Tiny. Barrada, she does have a Blink Dagger, so this is the part where I think they can actually pull off the combo. If Grimm is able to latch on those two heroes with the Soulbind, pretty sure team fights will start off fairly well from there. Just look at LZ, just waiting patiently in the trees, making sure not to make any more mistakes, not getting too impulsive. Oh, here she goes. ALZ blinks in deep, getting the God's Rebuke off, but it's not going to do anything with the Arena of Blood. It's two BKBs up as Batrider will be able to drag her right out of the team fight. The Soulbind connects onto the Mars, but it's not going to latch onto anyone. The false promise is there to save ALZ's life for just a short period of time, but there's no way she's getting out of here alive. Juggernaut gets stunned right behind, but Valkyrie missed, getting those right clicks off onto the Juggernaut. Instant buyback from the Mars as Pangolier rolls in and out of the team fight. Reincarnation is popped off the Brave King. Mars TP's up. Mars buys back, but TP's all the way up to the top lane to farm. But the Omnislash is huge. It actually catches onto the Lifestealer, bouncing all the way back to the Batrider as Juggernaut just going in aggressive, unstoppable killing spree. She has the Aegis available. Has to be slightly careful here. Win does have buyback. No false promise for a minute. Good blink out from Gracelyn. Just be slightly careful as Valkyrie is actually looking for more. Xavier getting blocked up by the creeps. Swashbuckle up to the high ground. So the rest of Valkyrie are looking for more.
I'll take that as tribute.
Overall, Valor getting that slight advantage in gold. Gold and EXP. Despite almost the same amount of damage being done. Look at the change in experience and gold. So the win probability actually jumping in 75% from Valkyrie, jumping all the way down in favor for Valor. It's gonna be a huge swing for them. Likewise for the gold net worth and the XP.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
I mean, despite the Midas on Lakers, she's still slightly. I mean, she's still far behind the Juggernaut. I still think Juggernaut is still a great late game carry against the Lifestealer. Still a great solution.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Juggernaut already has an MKB. It's a good solution against the Radiants. Not to mention, if you're gonna use Omni Slash onto the Windrunner, yeah, I think she really needs that Invis talent. Make things slightly easier. In terms of buybacks, at this point of time, no hero is buyback, only Bat Rider, but it's gonna come up shortly. Valkyrie will smoke, will group up for a smoke. They do ping out the illusions,
Radiant's
as
bottom
Lakers
barracks
will
are
lead
under
the
attack.
charge. Maybe, just maybe, she might get initiation off. Lakers being really careful to blink dagger from the Barrier. Woman to drag on the Juggernaut, but he's really tanking. The false promise is there to stop the Juggernaut just in his tracks. But here comes the Soulbind, stopping both Mars and Tiny. There's nothing they can do. The Arena of Blood is there. It's not going to do anything but catch off the Grimstroke. Completely missing the core targets of Wind Ranger, and the rest of Valkyrie will just walk right out. That's the thing about Bat Rider. Picking Bat Rider to Oracle, that's quite risky. It's gonna be buyback from Wraith King, only one on the Radiant side. ALZ will push the Wraith King all the way back. A toss coming in from the Bat Rider, he just instantly melts. The tree will be thrown out as Gracelyn being jumped on by Misk. Wraith King does have the reincarnation available, but the amount of damage output from the Juggernaut is incredible. The MKB doing his work. It's gonna be 2 down for the Radiant as Valor makes their way up to the high ground. The root will be there for the Wraith King. There is the disarm. Crimson will be popped. This Valkyrie just watches in horror as the base just gets torn apart completely. Shaka Shot connects onto 2, both Tiny and the Mars. But Misk does not have the reincarnation available. The Arena of Blood will be thrown out. The instant buyback from the Wraith King. Barrier will be up in 10 seconds. It's going to be a double kill for the Mars. And just going to go back to the objective, taking out that mini Rex. Great Fire Blast onto the Tiny. She's tanky, being able to soak up a little bit of that. But here comes Olia coming with those brackets onto the Wraith King. Does not have the reincarnation. It's going to be 1.5 minutes down. It's going to be a dieback, a double kill for the Pangolier. And this is where Valor starts to take off the head of the snake.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
Valkyrie
Radiant's bottom barracks
was started off as such a great laning stage. Actually, to be honest, in terms of the laning stage, they did extremely well, Valkyrie. But
Radiant's bottom
I guess the aggression wasn't there. Like, you're picking Bat Rider and Lifestealer against Mars, and the issue is that Mars was still able to get a farm. And Lifestealer? I think she just wasn't able to contest against the Mars pick. Even though the fact that Oracle wasn't exactly there all the time. So I guess even though you may have countered them in the laning stage, it's not really that fair. But Zelia utilizing that invis from the Windrun. ALZ not being able to catch anyone. Well, not without detection at least. Wraith King will be up in 30 seconds time. As Windrunner will be able to pop the PKB. Trying to catch something off. Understand what the Shackle will be the latch on the Mars. Right at the trees, but Zelia doesn't have any mana to spare. The false promise is up onto the Mars. Tiny trying to lock down this Bat Rider, but here comes the root, connects on the tree. And the monster kills tree for the Juggernaut and a mega kill for the Pangolier. Absolutely perfect. Wraith King just comes up. The Mana Star will try to dodge the Omni Slash, but it's a triple kill. The Omni Slash brings him all the way to the fountain. Missed. Does have the reincarnation one more time as Alia tries to change the aggro onto the Mars, but that's not gonna work as she melts straight away to the fountain.
are under attack.
ALZ diving in deep all the way to the fountain. Melee Rex just about to fall. Yeah, it's gonna be a mega kill. Is it gonna be a mega creeps?
The Dire now have mega creeps.
fight after fight, as Valor slowly makes their way into the Ancient.
Radiant's middle
No
tower
buybacks
is
at the
under
moment,
attack.
only Bad Rider has it. But Sicilian, unable to utilize the combo of the Soulbind and the Lasso. I think overall, Grimstroke still, personally I still feel that the most favorite item to get first is still that Aether Lens. Without that Aether, you can't really start off the fight, because what happens is such that all the core players, they don't, or like most of those spellcasters, they're just really hesitant to cast out their spells, as everybody just wants to utilize it with Soulbind. So starting off a fight with the Soulbind is actually quite a good tactic, but it's going to be really difficult if the Grimstroke doesn't exactly have an Aether Lens, neither does she have a Playing Dagger. So overall, sure, defensive items are great, but as the first item for Grim, I think Aether might be the call.
Radiant's
By this
top
point of time,
shrine
Valor's
is
just
under
looking
attack.
so incredibly strong. It's 24,000 gold net worth lead compared to Valkyrie. Checking out the win percentage, it's almost a guaranteed win probability for Valor. Although Valkyrie's job is easy to execute, it just seems that Valor just been playing this game so much better. The team fights and coordination just seems to be so much better than Valkyrie, even though there were some hiccups in certain fights.
Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
You can't blame players. I mean,
Fallen.
even for pro players all the way up there, rank 1, rank 100, everybody makes mistakes once in a while, but it just seems that Valkyrie's made far too many mistakes, and when they slipped, they really fell hard, losing an objective one after the other. And I thought that one of the reasons why they lost so much map control initially was because of the lack of vision. Like the walls were just constantly getting dewatered. Yeah, but then again, still not the end of the game. Valkyrie is still looking awfully strong, but whether or not strong enough to hold against the power of Valor. Then again, this South Curious on Wraith King is gonna be quite questionable, I guess. I still question it. You go for armor reduction, I understand, but I don't think that's your role. I don't really think that that's your role. You need to be able to sit. I mean, sure, tank is one thing, but if you're not going for a BKB, you're not exactly doing anything so far. I even think that the Agonists would have been so much better. Soulbind connects onto Mars and the Juggernaut. Tiny gets lashed on him all the way to the tree, but here comes the Lasso, finally dragging him all the way back to the base, but that's not going to do anything, as the Pangolier with the Agonists and the double damage will roll around, jumping around with the Swashbuckle, all of that damage. Olia will be able to finish off the kill onto the Wind Ranger with that MKB. He's doing his work. Olia does have the Omni Slash, but she will play it patient.
Radiant's middle tower is
Tiny
under
actually
attack.
still running away from the Wraith King and the Lifestealer. The Avalanche will be able to sustain for just a short portion of time. Wraith King does not have the level 20 talent at all. It's just gonna fall. Die back on Wind. This area will get chased down by the Lifestealer. Juggernaut's Omni Slash actually finishing off the Wind Ranger, and that's gonna be GGWP from Valkyrie as Valor emerges victorious in the series. So for this group, we'll actually be seeing Valor coming in first place, followed by Valkyrie. So Valkyrie, not all hope is lost for them, as they still get the chance to play off in the wildcards. As for Valor, they will actually be advancing to the playoffs for tomorrow, both Saturday and Sunday. We'll actually be starting off at 12, and it's going to last all the way to 6 PM. So do stay tuned for us for that. But for this game, I think that overall, Valor eSports, they just played so much more precise. They were so good at their coordination. They managed to outlast that terrible laning stage that Valkyrie was able to dish onto them. And yeah, overall, I just felt that Valor just did a really good job. Like, overall, I think in the laning stage, yeah, see around the 10-minute mark, Valkyrie does have that huge advantage. But then towards 20-minute mark, I think that's the tilting point where Valor actually snacks that advantage and just starts taking out fights after fights, objective after objective, and Valkyrie under the pressure just fell one at a time. I think that's the part where they actually lost that cool. But then, same thing, these players have been playing all night, all evening today. since 7, so you can understand that some of them are actually quite tired. So like I said, this tournament is not possible without our wonderful sponsors. We have Dreamcore, Overdrive, Elgato, Super Solid, Yahoo, and Aftershock. I'm your wonderful caster Jitjuan. Stay tuned for tomorrow's playoffs as I'll still be here casting together with Ashley, and I'll catch you all next time.